Hello Pokemon trainers, welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Battle Stadium singles video here on iStarLeave TV, part of my Road to Master series where I try to climb the online ranked Battle Stadium singles ladder. And today we have a little bit of a finale in some ways, not exactly, but if you've been watching my videos for the past month, you know that I've been playing a lot of singles and I have been developing this team over the course of the month, over the course of the season rather. Well, it's the same thing, but anyway, and so today is the end of the month, which means it's the end of the season. So as of today, I believe 5 p.m. my time, I'm Pacific Standard Time, the season will end and the new season will begin. The season will reset. Now the new season is the same exact rule set. I actually just checked, and this Regulation D rule set goes until September 30th. Of course, the DLC drops on the 13th of September. So basically my hope is that as of October 1st, we will probably have a brand new rule set with all of the Pokemon from the DLC legal, which will be awesome. So pretty much one more month of this same rule set. And then after that, I hope and I assume that we will have a brand new rule set with a lot of new Pokemon to try out. So of course I'm super excited for that. But anyways, let's get to the point here. So I've been working on this team throughout the season, and here is, I guess, what you could call my final iteration of the team for this month, for this season. And I did make a team code for you all because since the rule set is going to be the same next month, in case you want to start the new season with this team, I do think it's a pretty good team. I do still think there are some little small errors and shortcomings with the team that I want to iron out and work on. So I think I might still work on this team in the next season. However, I do think I'm going to probably have a lot more new teams next season, so for the next month. Again, it's the same rule set, but there are a lot of Pokemon I still want to try out that I don't feel like I really got to try out in this meta. So yeah, I'm going to try to focus more back on just new things, trying new teams, trying new things, stuff like that. And I might revisit this team every once in a while, but I do like where this team ended up. Again, I do recognize there are still some issues, and from the last video I did with this team, I did make a couple small changes. So the biggest change is that and we're going to go a little out of order here. We're going to look at number 6. I did take out Baxcalibur and I swapped it for Annihilape. You know, this does mean, it's funny because I had Baxcalibur and I realized my team was very weak to Stealth Rock. I had 4 Pokemon that were weak to Stealth Rock. So I wanted something that wasn't weak to Stealth Rock and also something that could take on a lot of threats that a lot of my other Pokemon had trouble with. And Annihilape seemed to fit, and I've been testing with this team a little bit offline or off screen, and Annihilape has actually been really good. Now the downside to Annihilape is it's yet another ghost type, so we have 3 ghost type Pokemon, and this is a meta where 2 of the strongest Pokemon are ghost and 1 is dark, of course Flutter and Chien-Pao. So we do need to be aware of that, given that pretty much all of my ghosts are weak to those common threats. Now, of course, I have Terra types on each of them that can help mitigate those weaknesses, but you can only terrestrialize 1 Pokemon, obviously. So Annihilape has been really good so far, but something you need to be careful about if you're going to use this team is trying to not bring all your ghosts in one battle. Because there have been some battles where I'm like, oh, Annihilape looks good here, and Skeledirge looks pretty good, oh, and Fluttermane also looks good. And then I have to take a step back and say, oh, well, actually, if my opponent brings their own Fluttermane or something, I could just get absolutely destroyed by like Shadow Ball or something like that. So you definitely need to be aware of that. And, you know, you can only terrestrialize once, like I said. So, you know, that's another issue that I found with this team. Even though Annihilape has been amazing, there have been games where I want to terrestrialize Annihilape, but then that means if I have Skeledirge in the back, I cannot terrestrialize Skeledirge. And Skeledirge is a Pokemon where, honestly, if I'm bringing it, I'm probably looking to terrestrialize it. So yeah, if you bring Skeledirge, you might want to bring a Pokemon that doesn't need Terra in order to function. And all of these Pokemon can do well even without terrestrializing, but they do get additional benefits from Terra. So that's something, you know, it's going to require a lot more thought. And Annihilape is just a Pokemon that requires a lot more thought in general, but it's been working pretty well for me. This is a pretty standard Annihilape set, by the way, because I haven't really talked about that. It's got max HP and max special defense with Taunt, Bulk Up, Rage Fist, and Drain Punch. Pretty standard, like I said. It has an Papa Berry because all the other good items were taken. And I didn't feel like Covert Cloak seemed that great. I don't know, a lot of the moves in this meta just kind of don't really care. Maybe I should go back to Covert Cloak, but the berry has been decent. I don't know, maybe I should go back to Covert Cloak, but we have Terra Fire, which gives us a decent matchup against Chien-Pao, because if they go for an ice move, we can Terra and resist it. And Fluttermane as well, because if they go for a fairy move, which they likely will, because Moonblast is stronger than Shadow Ball, and we're weak to both of them, then we can resist that as well. So Annihilape's awesome. Then let's go back right up to the top. I did make a couple small changes to Iron Bundle, my tried and true Iron Bundle set that I always use. I'm trying something a little different here. I did change the Terra type to Steel. If you saw in my last video, I was kind of talking, I faced a Terra Ghost Iron Bundle, and I was talking about how I had never really seen that. And a few people in the comments pointed out that it is actually somewhat common, and they themselves have run into it. So shout out to those people who are aware of that, aware of Terra Ghost Iron Bundle where I wasn't. And so they said that, a lot of people said that it's good at stopping something like Extreme Speed Dragonite, which makes a lot of sense. So I considered Terra Ghost, but I figured, because I already have a lot of Ghost types on my team, I didn't want to kind of add that weakness again, and I thought Terra Steel does a similar job of stopping Extreme Speed from Dragonite. I mean, it resists it, as well as taking on Fluttermane and Chien-Pao better, both defensively and offensively. So I thought that seemed like a really good choice. Of course, Terra Steel, I did quickly realize, is weak to ground, and Dragonite does often run Earthquake, so that's something I still need to be aware of. But I think Terra Steel seems really good, and I'm going to try it out. And we are weak to fighting, but again, we do have a lot of Ghost types on our team to balance that out. And yeah, it is awkward that, Iron Bundle is weak to fighting in general, like as a water and ice type, and then if we Terrasilize, we're still weak to fighting, so that's a little bit awkward, but I think Terra Steel seems really promising. And then I removed Encore for Terra Blast, because Terra Blast, of course, as a Terra Steel type, would give me super effective moves against Fluttermane and Chien-Pao, which allows me to more easily take on those Pokemon. And it also, as a normal type move, even if I'm not Terrasilize, it still gives me some coverage that I didn't already have. I did remove Encore. Now, Encore is still super clutch sometimes, but there were points where I was like, I don't really need Encore. I'd rather use Substitute and just attack instead of using Encore. But I don't deny that Encore is a very clutch move, and there are situations where it can be very good. So Iron Bundle's really flexible. I think it could be a lot of different Terra types, and it could have, a lot of different moves. Finally, one very small change that I made was to Chien-Pao. I simply swapped its item from Life Orb to Focus Sash. I don't know, Life Orb is good, but I kind of felt like the extra damage wasn't that massive in comparison to the fact that I was losing health and I would get one-hit KO'd by a lot of things. So Focus Sash allows me to guaranteed survive a hit against most threats. Doesn't let me survive against Urshifu though, which is a Pokemon I've still been running into a lot, but against most other things I can survive a hit and sometimes deal 2 hits to them, one first, and then I survive a hit, and then I go for another move. So that can be really clutch sometimes. So that's the team, and this is where we're ending up for the season. Like I said, I have tested with this build, and it's been pretty good. I've been liking it. So this is where we're ending the season with the team. We have a nice little send-off to the team. Hopefully we have some good games today. But like I said, the team code's right there if you want to try it out for the beginning of the next season. Let's get to some games. Okay, well, I was looking at the opponent's team. I got a battle, and then I was looking at the opponent's team, and then it said there was a communication error. Like, I didn't do anything. I was just trying to decide which Pokemon to bring. It said there was a communication error and kicked me back to this to the start screen. And then when I went back into the Battle Stadium singles, it said it gave me a loss for that. So that really sucks. I mean, I don't really care that much about my win rate at this point because the season's just about over, but it gave me a loss for nothing. That's pretty awkward. So yeah, anyway. So my opponent has Toxapex, which I absolutely hate. Although it's not quite as good. If it's backed by other bulky Pokemon, it's really, really annoying. Right here they do have Wo-Chien, which is very bulky for sure, but I kind of feel like I'm decently well positioned against something like Toxapex. Annihilape's pretty good against bulky Pokemon because it can taunt them and then it forces them to attack it, which boosts the power of Rage Fist. So I really like that. And in fact, I kind of want to lead with that, although I think Landorus is probably a pretty likely lead from them. So maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe, do I lead? I think I can lead Bundle. Actually, Bundle's pretty strong. And then I think I do want to bring Annihilape. And then finally in the back, probably either Flutter main or Chien-Pao, both of which seem pretty decent. I'm going to bring Chien-Pao because it's a little bit better against Chi-Yu and Goldango. Flutter main's decent against those, but, well, I do think Flutter main probably struggles against Chi-Yu, but against Goldango, it kind of depends on what Terra type they have and, you know, whether we decide to Terra or not. I kind of feel like Chien-Pao doesn't give me that issue. But anyways, if you saw there, I have a new trainer card. I updated my trainer card with my favorite little Iron Bundle character. And for the new season, I'll probably do a new outfit for my character because I really don't like this one. I actually never really liked it. Like from the moment I chose it, I was like, it's kind of ugly. But anyways, they lead Lando, which is great for me because obviously I have a move that's 4 times super effective. I do wonder what the likelihood of them either terastallizing or switching is. I don't really care if they switch actually because Freeze Dry is just such a great move. I think it's the safest move. I think there's no reason for us to go for it. If they don't Terra and they just go for like Stealth Rock, they're probably dead unless they're like Assault Vest or something or Yachi Berry. But we do get them to reveal that they are actually Choice Scarf. So that's great information for us in the future. Landorus is a Pokemon that a lot of people were expecting to be like top tier in this meta. It really hasn't been at all. Like, it's not in the top 10, I don't believe, and also you really don't see it that often. But my opponent goes into Toxapex, and that's actually great for me as well because Freeze Dry is super effective against water types, so that works out really nicely for me. However, my opponent has red card, so that's really rough. So that was great, but you know, we get forced out there, which is pretty rough. I'm tempted to just Terra now though, because they swap me into Chien-Pao. I'm trying to think if my last Pokemon happens to be Annihilape, is that a problem? That's a problem if they have Goldango, but otherwise I think Annihilape is decent against most everything they have, whether I Terastallize or not. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go Terra Blast. This might be obvious. It is possible they protect or they switch back into Landorus. I mean, switching into Landorus is dumb, right? Because I'm an ice type. But, you know, given that I'm here against their Toxapex, they might expect this. So we'll see what happens here. Hopefully in their mind, they're just like, oh, I just whirlwinded him into Chien-Pao, so I'm not gonna, so he might switch out or something like that, right? But luckily for us, we do have the Terra Electric. Best case scenario, they go for like Toxic or Chilling Water or something right here, which it looks like they do, or whatever they went for. It was not Protect, and it was not Terra, and we are able to cleanly finish them off, which is perfect. And again, we are Focus Sash now, so if they go into Landorus, the big downside to that is that they will intimidate us, but we do have Icicle Crash. Although if they do go into Landorus, I feel like they might Terastallize, but they do go into Wo-Chien now. It's really funny because our ability is lowering their defense and their ability is lowering our attack. So we'll see what happens here. I think it's pretty likely they're going to Terastallize, but I just want to go ahead and Icicle Crash. We now know that Iron Bundle is great against their last 2 Pokemon because we have Freeze Dry, and they are pulling the trigger on their Terra right now, which means that Landorus cannot Terastallize. So they're Terra Fire, which makes a lot of sense, you know, pretty smart for them because that means they're going to resist this pretty obvious Icicle Crash. But, you know, maybe we flinch them or something like that. And we don't, which is fine. I'm not going to complain about that. They go Leech Seed now, which is very annoying. But I think I'm just going to go ahead and go into Iron Bundle now. So we know they have Leech Seed. Beyond that, they could have Ruination. They could have like Giga Drain. You know, there's a lot of options here. They very well could have Protect as well because they do have Leech Seed, which is very annoying. Actually, maybe I just stay in and go Terra Blast. I just want to see what this does. If they have Protect, oh wow, I guess that's a smart play on their part. I was going to say, if they have Protect, like, I don't really care that much. So they go into Landorus. Now, this is annoying, but at this point, I kind of don't mind if Chien-Pao faints. Although at the same time, it is pretty decent. Let's see. I'm just gonna click Icicle Crash. If they just U-turn, I think that's not the end of the world. We'll just get a little bit of extra damage on their Wo-Chien. They do Earthquake though, which is I think pretty nice because it does knock us out, and that makes me really happy that we actually didn't switch there because that could have been pretty rough. But Earthquake's pretty good for my opponent as well because then they can they're outspeeding both of my last Pokemon here. So We could go into Annihilape, and I'm not sure how much an Earthquake does, because there's a chance we could bulk up. That could be really dumb, though. I think I'm gonna try that, though. Huh. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe that's dumb. Because obviously we know they outspeed Iron Bundle, but I'm just gonna bulk up here and see what happens. Maybe they'll get scared out and switch, which is exactly what happens. That's perfect. By the way, one of Annihilape's possible abilities is Defiant, which if you get intimidated, you actually have your attack boosted by 2 stages. But unfortunately, we have Vital Spirit, because I think that's typically the better ability on Annihilape. It prevents you from falling asleep. So here I'm just gonna taunt, because I know I'm faster than a Wo-Chien. If they switch, that's annoying, but it's also not the end of the world, because we are at +1 defense. Now, they are gonna lower our attack, but I think I'm kind of safe to just bulk up again. Like, we might get to a point with Annihilape where we just get so many bulk ups that we just have such great defense we can just take any hit from their Landorus, and then at some point they're gonna have to attack us, right? Which is gonna boost the power of our Rage Fist. So anytime they have Wo-Chien in, I'm gonna taunt, and then anytime they have Landorus in, I'm just gonna start with a bulk up. So I think we're at neutral attack now, and we're about to be at +1 attack and +2 defense, actually, right? And their ability, Wo-Chien's ability, doesn't lower your attack by 1 stage. I think it lowers it by like 20% or 30% or something like that. So I don't think we can afford to just attack Wo-Chien. I think we need to taunt. This is really annoying, by the way, but I kind of feel like we're coming out on top of this exchange, right? I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and then eventually, like I said, anytime their Landorus attacks our Annihilape, it's just not going to be doing that much damage at all. So again, this is not really a winning fight for them, right? Bulk up. The downside is they are lowering our attack. So they're basically neutralizing our attack, but I'm just going to keep doing this. I could make a prediction here, and it's really not that big of a problem if they Leech Seed my Annihilape, right? Do I just Rage Fist here? I'm gonna go for it. This is gonna be the turn. Of course, this is going to be the turn where they... Yeah, it is, of course. Of course that's gonna happen. This is probably not gonna do that much. No, it doesn't do that much at all. Yeah, they Leech Seed. Huh. Are they gonna switch now? That's really annoying. The cool thing is, once we get Iron Bundle in, both of their Pokemon are weak to water. I was about to taunt. I just felt like, of course, if I taunted, they were gonna switch, and I don't know. Now I'm gonna taunt and they're gonna switch. Okay, no, they don't. This at least forces them to attack us, which means that it'll boost the power of our Rage Fist, which is something. They were gonna sub, okay. So we were about to switch there, yeah. Okay, so now they're probably gonna switch into Landorus. So I'm just gonna Rage Fist just to get damage on Landorus. That's not good. I mean, we're at such high defense now that, like, again, Landorus's attacks are not going to be doing that much damage at all. If we can knock out either of these Pokemon, I think we're in a really good spot to win this game. But it's going to be hard. It's going to be an uphill climb. Okay, that does not great damage. I'm going to bulk up. Yeah, now that we're Leech Seeded, I think we're in a really rough spot. Okay, they switch. So I wonder if they're gonna sub. So I think what I'm gonna do here is actually go into... I don't know if they would substitute here because they know I have Taunt. So... I'm just gonna switch. We'll see what happens. I don't know. This is a really annoying situation. Like, we should be winning this game, but, you know, they're just, like, making it really hard for us. Watch, they're gonna attack. They're gonna like Giga Drain or something here. Okay, they switch, which is actually rough. That's actually really bad. Huh. All we have to do is survive a hit from Landorus, which I'm not sure is gonna happen. I mean, I can't really, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. I don't think I can switch Annihilape into this. Yeah, they go Earthquake. And we barely survive. That's awesome. Good stuff. Good stuff there. All right. So now I think our best bet is... Yeah, our best bet now is to stay in and go Hydro Pump. And if they knock us... I mean, if they Leech Seed us, I don't really care, right? Okay, that's great. Yeah, we deserve that. Because that was really annoying. So if we hit here... I'm not even certain. I don't even think we one-hit KO them, but at least we'll do a lot of damage, and hopefully they just knock us out. I mean, they can't let us stay alive for too long, because we can just spam Hydro Pump. We go Hydro Pump, we hit, beautiful, love my Iron Bundle. It does a lot of damage, great stuff. And they finish me off with a Terra Blast, which is perfect, because now I can go into Annihilape and just taunt them. And they can't switch anymore. They can't do their cringe strat anymore. So they reveal Terra Blast. I guess they could have Ruination. We know they have Leech Seed and Sub, and now we know they have Terra Blast. I don't think we've seen anything else from them, unless I'm forgetting. You know, I tend to be somewhat forgetful in these videos. But hey, I mean, we got to see how clutch Annihilape was in this video. Definitely going to taunt here. At this point, I have nothing to lose because they can't switch anymore. And then at that point, we can just set up a bunch of bulk ups. And if they want to attack us, the cool thing is we have a berry that'll recover a little bit of health for us. And eventually we can just go for Drain Punch to heal back a little bit. See how much this does. Okay, it does a decent chunk, not a whole lot. That doesn't get our berry. So that did about 39, I think. So if they crit us, I think we still survive. So I think I can actually bulk up here. And this Terra Blast should take us to our berry. Yeah, they're just going to cancel. Perfect, perfect, perfect. We deserve that win. That was really annoying. Okay, now we get to admire my trainer card right there. All right, so that was game one. Good stuff. You know, really stally, kind of annoying in that regard. But it really showed Annihilape's, you know, clutch abilities. So I'm really happy with the outcome of that one. Good stuff. You know, there were a couple of moments where I probably should have predicted differently, definitely, but there were still moments where I kind of made the right call and it ended up paying off. So let's go to game two. They have Azelf and they also have Glimmora, both of which are capable of setting up hazards. They also have Slitherwing. Really interesting stuff here. Those two Pokemon, Glimmora and Azelf, are pretty annoying in my opinion. Kind of like Bundle here though. I wonder if I go Bundle and I go Terra. That makes Slitherwing a lot more tricky to handle. But I do have like Flutter main for that. Also, Skeledirge is good against Iron Bundle even without Terrastalizing. The thing is, it kind of needs to Terra against everything else. So if I bring Skeledirge, I would want to Terrastalize it. It does look pretty decent here though. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to also bring Flutter main and hope I make the right choice here. I mean, their team's really unconventional. It just surprises me that they have, again, Glimmora and Azelf, because, again, both of those Pokemon are, you know, typically setting up Stealth Rock and stuff like that. So, yeah, that redundancy is a little surprising to me. But anyway, my trainer card's better than theirs. Their trainer card was cool. It's always extremely difficult to get Pokemon in the right pose for the trainer cards. They lead Glimmora. They could have a rock type move. They could have a poison type move that they could go for, which means Terra Steel would be pretty nice here. I think I'm actually just going to Scout, go for Substitute. I guess if they're Choice Scarf, I'm going to severely regret that. It's funny because Glimmora is a Pokemon that you really don't see too often, but I feel like whenever I do see it, it's really good and really annoying and kind of hard to deal with. But we'll see how this plays out. I'm just subbing just to Scout here because, like, if they go for like Toxic Spikes or something, I don't care that much. I mean, I'd rather they didn't because I don't want my Pokemon. Wait, I'm sorry. It doesn't. Its ability sets up Toxic Spikes. Okay, they do go Power Gem here. We know we're faster though, so they're not Choice Scarf. This might be my time to Terrastalize, which again does make my Skeledirge a little bit worse if they have Chien-Pao or Iron Bundle. But I'm just gonna do it. I think this gives me a pretty good edge, and Iron Bundle's really good against a lot of their team anyway, so this could be a decent start for me. I mean, it's possible they Terrastalize as well, but I think it's really likely that they're gonna go for like either Power Gem again or maybe like a Poison type move. Each of which I don't care about when I'm a Steel type, so we're just gonna go for it. By the way, I mean, this looks like a Steel type, right? It's silver, it's shiny, it looks like a robot. So Terra Steel is just perfect for Iron Bundle. So the little guy goes Terra Steel. He has a big axe on his head now. And see what they do. Well, I go first, I guess, unless they Terra as well. Watch, they're also going to be Terra Steel. Oh god. If they are Terra Steel, that's going to put us in a really bad position. They're Terra Grass. Interesting. Interesting to be Terra Grass against a Ice type? Okay. You okay, bro? This should do decent damage, even though it's not super effective anymore. We also got their Terra, which is great. Oh, that does not do decent damage. They go Energy Ball, though, which is excellent. Yeah, I guess that's why they went Terra, but I mean, you were already hitting me super effective, right? So I'm still confused why they went Terra Grass. Now we go Freeze Dry, which I actually don't know if Freeze Dry knocks them out, but Energy Ball also does not knock them out. Or I'm sorry, Energy Ball does not knock us out. Power Gem would not knock us out. Poison moves would not do anything to us, so they would have to have, like, I think Earth Power or any ground type move. Yeah, we don't knock them out, which is pretty rough. I guess they have some bulk investment, so they're going to take down Iron Bundle, which is actually really bad for us right away. What this is going to do is force us into Flutter main just to get the knockout. And I think they, like I said, I think they might have some bulk investment because they actually took those hits pretty well, even though that one was super effective. And the first one was neutral, so it still should have done some decent damage. We just go Moonblast here, though. I don't think we have a reason not to, because nothing is immune to it. And just kind of see what happens at this point. If they go into Dragonite, I think we're a little bit better equipped against Dragonite with this Flutter main build because we have Charm as well as Perish Song, so we have a couple options for handling Dragonites. And like I said, the only silver lining in this situation is the fact that they've Terrastalized and they can't Terrastalize anymore. They're thinking, though. There's no reason for them to switch. I don't know why they're thinking. Like, you know that I'm going to be faster than you, and there's no good reason for you to switch right now because you don't want any of your Pokemon to take extra damage from a Flutter main, so I don't know why they were taking so long to think, but anyways. We got them. So we're now even, but I would say that they're a little bit ahead because we did have to eat our booster energy right there. And that's something that we would like to preserve for when we have momentum rather than when they do. So now they go into Iron Bundle and they don't have booster energy, so we are going to be faster here. We're going to have to stay in, unfortunately, because we don't want to switch Skeledirge into this. We got to hope to get these special... Whoa, okay. Well, I'll take that. I wasn't expecting that. I guess, you know, I always forget, you know, Iron Bundle has good defense. I guess it has pretty low special defense, and I think it just does not have good HP, so that's why that happened. Now they go into this guy, and now we have to play the prediction game. We could lose this battle still. Obviously, Moonblast makes a lot of sense here, but I feel like they might have Focus Sash. I think that's fine, right? Oh, wow, okay. If they don't have Focus Sash, we win. Of course, they do have Focus Sash. What are they going to go for here? Icicle Crash? Yeah, they do, and they hit. I think we might survive. No. I think we survived that, but they got a crit. Huh, that's annoying. So now we go Dirge, and if their only dark move is Sucker Punch, I think we actually have it. This is going to be really weird. Ugh, I really might regret this. I'm going to go Will-O-Wisp here. If their only dark move is Sucker Punch, which is the case for some Chien-Pao. Oh, no, of course. Of course not. Oh, wow. I'm holding my breath. Because if we miss this Will-O-Wisp, we lost this battle when we should have won. Oh god, thank god, Skeledirge. Skeledirge, you're amazing. Oh my god. I mean, I just thought that they were going to go Sucker Punch. Like I said, a lot of Chien-Paos, their only Dark-type move is Sucker Punch. I mean, Crunch makes sense, and a lot of people do run Crunch, but a lot of the ones I've been seeing lately don't have Crunch, and they just have Sucker Punch instead. And so I was thinking they would have Sucker Punch so that Will-O-Wisp was a smart play, but obviously if we had missed the Will-O-Wisp there, we just completely threw the game. So yeah, that was a funny one. All right. So actually, I'm just going to end the video there, but I'm going to show the team one more time because those battles were pretty long. At least that first one was really long. So let's go ahead and show off the team one last time and talk about it. And like I said, I think this team is in a great spot. It feels good. It actually feels really good. And like I said, even though it has kind of those glaring issues, such as the fact that, you know, my team is very weak to like Ghost, for example. I have multiple Ghost types and stuff. I still think that like you have a lot of decisions to make. Like there's a lot of decisions to make that can affect the game, and I think that's really fun. So I do think this team is pretty cool. It feels really good to me. It feels really strong. So I'm going to probably enter the new season looking at using this team to maybe grind the ladder a little bit more. But like I said, I'm going to focus a lot on trying new teams as well, so that I would say most of my videos in the next month, in September, will be, most of my singles, Battle Stadium singles videos will be focused on new, different, unique, and fun teams, like trying things out, like gimmicky teams, stuff like that. But I will revisit this team from time to time. Also, like I said, the DLC is coming out in 2 weeks, which is on September 13th. So I'll definitely be doing a ton of videos on the DLC, some guides, some tutorials, some, you know, maybe shiny hunting, stuff like that. I'm really considering trying to start streaming, so be on the lookout for that as well. And I'm really excited about trying that out. So we'll see if I can get my setup going for that, so that when the DLC comes out, we can do some streaming. And of course, I'd love to also do some Battle Stadium singles streams. So let me know in the comments what you thought. If you have a team code for me, feel free to drop it below and I can show it off in the new season. And feel free to try this team out. Let me know what you think about it, and let me know if you have any suggestions for improving it. You know, again, there are a couple Pokemon, a couple things here that I can make, like a couple tweaks I could make to the team, but I do really like where this team ended up. All of these Pokemon are really good. This is a good place to be. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you have a great day. I'll see you next time.